You know, guys, I would absolutely love to be an insider and know every single little thing about, what's going on with players and their agents. You know, it's interesting. When the Leafs were going to sign Tavares, I actually heard from a friend of mine that they were going to sign Tavares, but I was like, nah, there's no way that's happening. But anyways, it actually ended up being true. Now, interestingly enough, this is how it's going to relate to this video because we just never really have all of the information. Sometimes some players are just trying to cover their own butts. Sometimes management's trying to cover the team from bad press. We never really know what's going on because the media translation can be a little bit strange as well. But guys, welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. Now, for a long time, we didn't know exactly what was going on with Rasmus Andersson. We did hear a lot of rumors, though. We heard that, like, he was willing to go to whatever team. I mean, he really had no choice, but he wasn't willing to actually sign with that team. So let's say it was Dallas, let's say Ottawa. There's a lot of teams that have been very interested in him. We know that Dallas was willing to offer a lot for him, which has to be absolutely infuriating for Calgary Flames fans. But it's interesting that that was all just rumors, and, we don't know whether that's 100% true right now, because we have some really interesting quotes from Andersson, the man himself. Now, this was a Swedish translation, but let's jump right into it, guys. Quote, Rasmus Andersson regarding the trade rumors. I have not given Calgary a team. I haven't actually spoken to Calgary since they made the request, which was a month and a half ago. So I'm going to do the question of the video right off of the bat, 2 minutes in. Do you believe this? Right? This is one thing that I have a lot of difficulty with, because on one hand there is some motivation for him not to say exactly the truth, because he may have to play out the season in Calgary and he doesn't want a lot of drama in the media, right? Because we have heard a lot of reports that he's just saying, nope, not going there, nope, not going here. And Darren Dreger, before, was making it seem like the only team that he would consider going to is the Las Vegas Golden Knights, which again, on this channel, I've had my eyes rolling at this for a long time, saying, come on, not every single player can go to one team, Florida and Vegas. It's getting ridiculous. And here we have another interesting quote in this article. Andersson has 1 year left on his contract at $4.5 million AAV. And while he holds a 6-team no-trade clause, the Flames have apparently been open to about where exactly the mobile D-man would like to get moved. GM Craig Conroy had a trade offer on the table a month and a half ago, but Andersson didn't want to move his family there. Yeah, okay. That's where I've been at, but apparently that isn't true. I'm telling you, one thing that I've been looking into and trying to find out is when Darren Dreger said that Dallas was willing to offer like a lot for, Rasmus Andersson, what exactly do they mean by that? Like, listen, I don't know whether it was Jason Robertson, but oh god, Jason Robertson would look perfect in a Flames jersey. Now, this is the most important point of this whole thing. If Rasmus Andersson has not said that he's only going to sign with one team, let's just assume that's true. I don't know whether it is, because it seems to me that he would already have been traded by now, but let's assume that is true. That is unbelievable news for the Calgary Flames. Like, that's really good news, because that means it's still on the table that he could get traded to Dallas, and that means it's still possible that they could get maybe Robertson or something like that. Like that, it could not be better. Because again, I posted about Rasmus Andersson a couple times, and the whole point with me was like, if he's only willing to go to one team, then that is going to kill the Flames' chances. Now, again, he has the right to do absolutely anything that he wants to do. There's no doubt about that. That's his right. But it just, I mean, when a player is moving on and he's not willing to be flexible, it does kind of kill you. Now, on the other hand, I can understand that he doesn't want to go to all of the teams in the NHL, but I think it's reasonable for the Flames to ask for what? 7 teams. Like, I think 7 teams, and saying, hey, can you give us 7 or 8 teams that you'd be willing to go to and willing to sign a contract with? That would be a game changer, because then you could increase his value. And if he's not willing to do that, in my opinion, I would disagree with him, and I would think the Flames fans should be not very happy with him, even if it is his right. And here's the thing. Let's say Rasmus Andersson goes all the way to free agency. Just because he's a right shot D doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get exactly what you think, right? There's a lot of players that go all the way to free agency, and it doesn't really go how they think. So sometimes just finding a situation that's good for the player, that makes sense, like Dallas. Dallas would be kind of low-key perfect for him. Like, I don't know if he actually wants to move there, but they need a right shot D. They have the assets. It's a pretty decent place to live. I mean, I don't know. I no tax state. I mean, it's pretty much got all his ducks in a row there. That would be pretty good in my opinion. But again, the Flames still have a decent amount to do. They still have to figure out Rasmus Andersson. I was hoping, from my perspective, that this would get done in this offseason. It's August 10th today when I'm recording this, so they still have, a month, actually, just short of 2 months now to get this done. They have the Zeri contract, which apparently they're only about 1 million apart in, which is good. They're both willing to sign about 3 years. That's excellent news. I personally am just not a fan of this stuff when it goes all the way into the season, right? Because this can become a distraction. And the Flames, I don't know if you even want to have a good season this year for the Flames. So again, it might be a good season to tank out in. There's a certain player going #1 overall. I know we all know who that player is. I mean, it could really accelerate the Calgary Flames rebuild if they were kind of bad this season. But that's just my opinion. But anyways, guys, I am going to leave this video right here. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.